one thing I'd really like to kind of dive into, because it's so natural to think of giving and receiving and thinking of a physical thing like a gift. What examples can we provide that are more of the intangible giving and receiving? Because, yeah, we can start to practice everything we're saying in terms of the physical. Well, and that could even be your physical self of, okay, well, hey, I don't give myself enough time. I don't receive enough time to just relax or self-care or self-love and that kind of standpoint. But what about the more of the emotional aspects? What about the mental aspects and the spiritual aspects? Those are the kind of things I'd love to provide some examples that we can maybe walk through to give people who haven't really thought about this for the first time a stair step to kind of say, oh yeah, I can at least I can grasp that and move forward, because I know that helped me a ton.
I will say that to begin, whether we're aware or we're not, energetically, we're always giving and receiving.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll point out, like, if you've ever walked into a space and there's someone in there who's just happy and bubbly and they just light up the room, you can feel that. You can literally feel, and their energy is almost contagious. It's because they're giving off that energy that just makes you feel as happy as they feel. Likewise, you've likely walked into a room where someone is the opposite of that. And that has set the tone for the space equally as much. And so we know just by experience, tons of scientific research that shows the same, like how our biofields set energetic tones around us and how it's shared. But we don't have to have the science to know the feel. Like, we've all felt it. Walking in, being lifted up by the energy of a space, walking in and being really like pulled down by the energy of a space. And so if we've all experienced it, then we can also choose which way we want to contribute to the energy of a space, right? We can say to ourselves, my mood will affect the energy of a space that I am in. Whether I am consciously contributing or not is up to me. I can be neutral, I can be happier, or I can be the one that sucks the air out of the room. And so then we get the conscious choice from our energetic standpoint. We're going to have bad days. It's not like we have to be on all the time. But if we're consciously aware that our energy contributes to how other people will experience the space around them, then at least we're not going to kind of go into work every day and not make some type of choice of how our energy flows. We can say, hey, maybe I just need to listen to a Lady Gaga song and kick it up and make things a little more upbeat. Or maybe I don't need to be negative, I just need to be neutral. How do I take the steps up to neutral? And then we can do the mental and emotional framework to bring ourselves up to that with some type of an affirmation that helps us remember that in the relative scheme of things, we're doing pretty well, right? And so affirmations can help us clear our mental framework and take ourselves from that negative brain bias, which we talk about so often, because we've created kind of this negative cycle in our minds, whether it is actual or it is not actual. It is just something that spins, right? We tend to think more negatively than may actually be occurring in our life. And so if we can do something to just interrupt it and redirect it, then it allows us to get to neutral. We're not saying you have to love everything around you and see rainbows and puppy dogs and unicorn kisses. We're saying neutral. See that the world is maybe a little bit better than what we think and get to a neutral space. And if we can do that with positive affirmations, then the energy that we're giving can be received at least a point that isn't going to pull someone else out of what they would consider their balance. So that would be something I would offer.